All right, let's go ahead and get started. To go ahead and jump right into the third quarter IFTA webinar that we prepared for you today. My name is Amber, and I will be hosting this along with Christy.
Hey.
From TruckLogics. I'm sure that you're very familiar with her, but we're going to show you a little bit of an overview. So obviously, this is Christy, this is me. It's nice to meet you. As far as the overview, so just to kind of quickly tell you how we're going to run the webinar so that you can pay attention when it's important to you. Number one, we're going to go over what is IFTA. I know in the trucking industry, there's a lot of different registrations and something is due, it seems like, almost every day. And so just a brief overview of what is IFTA. We're going to show you the account creation from TruckLogics. Obviously, when you are already a TruckLogics client, you're going to log right into your account and you'll be able to generate your IFTA report. And then we also have the IFTA only option. So we're just going to kind of talk about those options for you. We're going to show you about entering your data. So there's several different options available. And so we're going to tell you what those different options are and how they might be helpful to you in your business. We're going to show you the report generation. So after you've entered your data or you've brought it over from Motive or your ELD, whatever it might be, we're going to show you how that all pulls together to give you your quarterly report. And then we're going to have a brief question and answer time. So that's our overview. That's how we're going to kind of go through our time today. Just to start off with, like I said, a brief overview. You guys are veterans. You probably already know what IFTA is, but just a brief overview. It is the International Fuel Tax Agreement. It is the agreement among the 48 states and the 10 Canadian provinces that border United States. And so before this, each state was kind of on its own, and it was a huge mess. And so this was the agreement between all of the states in Canada that if you have IFTA stickers, you are going to basically file the report with your jurisdiction and pay whatever taxes are due, and then each jurisdiction divvies those out to all of the other states. So it basically streamlines the fuel tax process for you so that you're not having to do that with every single state that you drive through. Next, it is, like I said, one tax return filed each quarter with your base jurisdiction. It also streamlines the fact that, again, when you submit your return to your specific state, you have one payment due, or if you're smart and you're purchasing fuel where you're running, most of the time you'll get a refund. But again, that's only once a quarter that you have to submit those things to your state. So at this time, we want to pause for a quick second and jump over to TruckLogics, and I'm going to give Christy the controls because she is going to be taking you through the process of filing IFTA through TruckLogics.
Hello, everyone. As you see on your screen, this is your TruckLogics account, and we're going to go to your IFTA module. You click IFTA, and for third quarter, you'll see here that it already shows some mileage, and this is pulling from your system from your trip sheets, but it's not going to generate this report until you actually click Start Return and get in here and do the data entry part. So you'll select the trucks that you need to enter for. We're going to do just a couple to show you how the software will pull. If it's listed as TruckLogics, that truck is pulling from the TruckLogics software. If it's listed with a big black M, that's going to be pulling from your ELD Motive, okay? So once you select the trucks that you have, you're going to click Next.
And I do want to pause because this is different this quarter. Previously, you either had to choose to enter it all from TruckLogics or to do Motive.
Correct.
This time you can do each.
Correct. since we had such a huge request for this. If you are pulling from Motive and it only pulls your miles, or it only pulls your fuel, you're given an option to change your data source. And this will give you the option to pull from TruckLogics for your distance or TruckLogics for your fuel, so that you can split those. A lot of Motive accounts only keep track of the distance, depending on the subscription that you have. And then you can just click Save and Update. We are in a development site, so just give me 1 second. And then it'll allow you to change those data sources and pull from, but you can only pull from TruckLogics or Motive. If you have data that isn't entered for this truck at all from TruckLogics, you'll either have to go to your dispatches and fill out all your trip sheets and your fuel expenses, or you'll have to change your import option to quick entries. If you change to quick entries, both trucks, TruckLogics and Motive, have to be done with quick entries. The only split is for Motive and TruckLogics. If you use quick entries, that's a manual data entry. So we can click manual and click into the quarter. You see your month split up, odometer or distance, and your months. If you're needing to add some months, you'll click add 5 rows, and you'll continue adding your months and your states. It'll jump to your distance, and then you'll add your fuel. And you'll continue on until you have the whole month entered.
Now, just a quick question with odometer and distance. Again, that has to be chosen. So it's not like I started entering odometer, oh, now I want to switch to distance.
Actually, you can.
Okay.
So if, let's say our driver only gave us his odometer readings, you'll switch it. And then you'll enter the odometer, and then you can go back to your distance for the next entry. Okay?
Okay, so you can start with odometer and then switch to distance and continue your entries.
Correct. And then you'll do that for each month. So we're just gonna, we didn't have much for August, so we'll just do for September. We had, it was South Carolina, because we are in the lovely state of South Carolina, and we had 500 miles in South Carolina, and we purchased 50 gallons of fuel that day. And then again, you're going to continue for each day that you have miles and your states. If you're, it doesn't, these are just numbers. They aren't indicative of what you may have. All right, and then once you have each month entered, you're just going to continue through the form. It'll give you a preview, and then you can do the next truck, and you're going to do it the same way. Even though it says Motive, but because you have quick entries selected, you're going to select quick entries, and you will have to enter these manually. So then we'll just enter our date, our state, and this one is odometer. So we started at, let's go 1500 or 1250 was the starting, and then 2000 was the ending, and it'll calculate your distance for you. And then all you have to do is the fuel. We did 75 gallons. Now let's just change it to distance. And here is where Amber asked, could you change it to distance? Yes. And it brings up your surrounding states for you. So now we can enter this distance here as well, because this driver only gave us the distance. And then you'll proceed through each day that month. And then you'll go to the next month as well, enter the date, the state, your miles, and your fuel.
And this is the full TMS
Correct.
version. So if you're using TruckLogics, or when you're using TruckLogics as it's intended to be used, you're creating each of those trip sheets. And so like you said in the beginning, all of that information would be pulled from there.
Correct.
This method here is if you weren't entering those trip sheets and you had to enter it manually at the end of the quarter because you
Correct.
didn't use it
Correct.
as it was supposed to. Okay.
Correct. We'll probably have a quick minute. I can show you how it'll pull from the TruckLogics system.
And so in this instance where if they're doing quick entry, and I know that with Ifta, it is fleet wide and they are looking for a total number of mileage and gallons of fuel for that specific quarter. So when you're entering this quick entry method, if you have a total, let's say you have 3 trucks and you know that all 3 trucks ran a total of 500 miles in South Carolina and they purchased 300 gallons of fuel. North Carolina, they ran 600 miles. You could enter all of that in one quick entry. It doesn't have to be broken up by truck. Now, again, because TruckLogics is a TMS and because it really is intended to be used to break this up further so that when it's time for an Ifta audit, you have that information broken down by vehicle so that you're able to look at each vehicle and see which one has the best gas mileage and which one is operating at its optimum. So all of that stuff is built for you. And that's why you're able to enter those in as the trip sheets and go throughout the entire kind of the top tabs as you kind of look across it. Mm-hmm. But if for some reason you hadn't been doing that, you can still enter your information and get an Ifta report. And that's the purpose of what we just showed you.
Correct. And once you get everything entered and you agree with the totals that you see, you're simply just going to click next through the program. It'll show you your tax due. If you had a credit from a prior quarter, you could enter that here. We didn't have one, so we're just going to continue through the form. You're going to review your business details, your Ifta details, make sure that your Ifta account number is correct. If not, you can edit either. And again, you're going to get another review of the tax that you are due, or your local jurisdiction is due. And we are seeing no errors found in our report, but we do have a disclaimer. So please read that disclaimer at your discretion. And then you're going to click next. And because you're using the full TMS, your Ifta is included for free with your full TMS each month. Now you'll download this PDF, print it, and mail it to your local jurisdiction.
And with that, so there's also most of the Ifta departments and Ifta jurisdictions, they have an online portal, if you will. And so with that, so when you log into those portals, and a lot of times when you get your Ifta account up and going, they'll give you access to your own site to file your quarterly Ifta and to do your Ifta renewals at the end of the year. But they want totals. And so when you log into that account and you're going to go file your third quarter Ifta, they want you to show, okay, and these states, these are the total miles I ran, and this is the total fuel I purchased. And so that's what TruckLogics does for you, is it does all of those calculations so that you can take this PDF, this report that has downloaded. All you need to do is copy it over into that portal. And so then you file it actually with the jurisdiction. So this downloads a report, you use the report. If you want to mail it into the state, that's perfectly fine if they still accept it. If not, you would just log into that portal and then use the numbers from this report to file your Ifta.
Correct. So let's show you how to generate a return using the TruckLogics dispatches and fuel expenses. So you're going to select your truck that you're going to file for. And if you've entered everything in the TruckLogics system, it's just a few clicks. So we're going to say TruckLogics, and the system will pull here your totals. You can expand it to see this truck hasn't anything. So let's go back and grab a truck that has something. And you'll see that it pulled from the TruckLogics, total miles and total fuel. 1 click, 2 clicks, 3, 4, 5 clicks, and your Ifta is done. If you've used TruckLogics as intended, meaning your trip sheets are filled out and your fuel expenses are in your expense category under accounts.
Awesome. So that's the full TMS. So obviously, TruckLogics is built so that you can manage your entire business from one place, one dashboard, we call it. And that way you are using it daily to log your trips and your dispatches and all that good stuff, your expenses. And then at the end of each quarter, it's 5 clicks. You've done the work a little bit by little bit every single day, so that at the end of the quarter, you don't have to sit down for hours. The quick entry method is, again, if you haven't been doing that and you haven't been entering in your trip sheets all quarter long, then you've got to sit down and do the quick entries and pull that information together for your report. So this is the full TruckLogics management system, where Ifta is included, all of the things that you see here. So obviously we have different packages that that you can be subscribed to, but once you're in here and you're using it, you're managing your entire business from one place. So at this time, I'm going to pause our screen just for a second. I'm going to click back over to our presentation. And we're going to have a brief question and answer period. And so if you can see our screen over here on the left side, it shows where to enter your questions. And so we'll be able to see if you do have questions, and we are able to answer any questions that you might have. And if it goes too much into detail, we'll kind of redirect you back over to support, because that would be a support related question. But if you have general questions about Ifta, or when it's due, or where to file, or how to use your TruckLogics account, that's what we want to answer here. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type in that box your questions. You can also raise your hand, and we can allow you to talk on air as well. But go ahead and ask any questions that you might have, and we'll be happy to answer. We'll give you a few minutes to ask those questions. Okay, we do have one question. Somebody submitted a little bit earlier, and the question is about renewals, when it's time to renew, and how that works, and does TruckLogics do that for you? So each year you have to renew your Ifta license, and that is done through your jurisdiction. And so when it's time to renew your Ifta, you've got to get in your renewal paperwork by the deadline, and then they will mail you a new set of stickers for that next tax year. Most of the states, the renewal is done December 31st. They give you a small grace period, but then those new stickers have got to be displayed on your cab before that grace period runs out. One of the things that can happen, and that we run into a lot in the month of December, are people who have not filed their quarterly. So, maybe you accidentally skipped second quarter, and now you're trying to renew. You've got to go back and file that second quarter first, pay those late penalties and any tax due first, and then they'll allow you to renew your Ifta. If it's a habitual thing where you miss quarter after quarter, you've got to file all of those, and then the Ifta jurisdiction can choose not to renew your Ifta license. So this is super important to keep up on the Ifta deadlines. It is a quarterly deadline at the state level, but you want to make sure that you're keeping up with it, so that at the end of the year, when it is time to do your renewal, you just submit the renewal paperwork and get those stickers right back. So that is a question that happens a lot. We also have a question. Do you recommend keeping actual trip sheets manually?
There are two options within the full TMS platform. You can enter your trip sheets using Pro Miles if you are preferred and above. If you have the Pro package, you will have to enter those trip sheets manually. It's very similar to the look of the Ifta. You enter your state, your mileage, and you'll save it on that dispatch for each trip that you have made. I don't recommend one. I recommend using the Pro Miles. It is truck route specific. It will get you very close to your actual mileage, but your ELD is your ultimate authority on your mileage.
Yeah, and for sure, you know, manually, if you do have the package that allows the pro miles, that is super easy to keep up with. But even if you have a lesser package that doesn't have the pro miles, keeping up with trip sheets is a must. Again, it's going to save you so much time if you can just make the time to do that daily, so that you are not sitting down at the end of the quarter trying to remember back 3 months ago, because I can't do that for sure. So there are options for you to do that. It just depends on what package that you have with TruckLogics. And if you would like to discuss that more, you can contact our support team. And also, if you would like to upgrade, we can upgrade you to the package that allows that Pro Miles, so that it's easier for you. All right, awesome. Any other questions before we jump off of here? And just really quick, I do want to let you know, again, we have those two great options. The first option is the full truck management system, where you sign up for TruckLogics and you're able to manage your entire business. That is the bread and butter. That's where you're able to do everything from one dashboard, keep track of all your receipts and your expenses and your maintenance and your dispatches. I mean, you're able to do everything from one place. And to be successful, especially in where we are, that's really what you need to do. The second option is we have that Ifta only option. That is where you can create kind of a mini TruckLogics account. It doesn't have all of the other features, and you're able just to do your Ifta reports. That is a pay per quarter. You know, you come in, you generate your Ifta report, and you pay just for that report. So we do have that option as well. But again, that's not where we're pushing. If you want to use that option, we have it available, but we really see the value in using a full truck management system where you're taking control and managing your business all from one place. So we have two great options for you, and we would love to talk with you more about those if you have time. Get in touch with us. We're here Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. We have our phone and email support, and we have a full team here ready to answer any questions that you might have. And we're happy to help. We're happy to guide. We've got wonderful blogs and support material, videos, and William and Christy are here. They're great to answer any specific questions that you might have. But again, we're here Monday through Friday. You can see our social media down there at the bottom, and we're just involved in the industry. And so any questions you have, anything that you would like to see, we're here. We're happy to speak with you about that. So thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you spending a couple minutes with us. We wish you the best of luck on your third quarter IFTA. If you're already using TruckLogics, let us know if you have any questions. If you're not using TruckLogics, contact us today. Let's get you signed up so that we can go ahead and help you get your account all good and ready to go, so that you can start filing your third quarter IFTA as soon as possible. Again, my name is Amber.
I am Christy.
Thank you so much, and we hope that you have a great afternoon.
Bye.